Great things, another again, PT. How are you today?
Fine as usual. Like yes, that's
Fine. That's what I was expecting because that's what we're gonna start with today. The word
yes.
fine. With the letter F.
The thing is with the English letter F is that if instead of F, if people use P and H, okay, then most of the mystery will be solved of the letter F because it's safer, but PH is also fur, P and H, okay, because then the word fine FINE would become PHINE. Okay, now phi is in mathematics called golden ratio. The phi ratio is called golden ratio. Okay, it's 1.618 and it is called the golden ratio. And this is the ratio on which nature works. All of nature is tending towards this ratio. If we understand that, then phi, the word fine, becomes in phi. Means you are getting closer, you are in phi, that means you are in natural order, you are getting closer to that, you are in that's why you are fine. So the word fine only makes sense in terms of in phi. So that is the only sense of the word which, so the creators of the English language obviously knew about phi. Okay, they knew golden ratio, they knew phi, they just put F there. Now F hides pH, so it's like a code. You'll say that, but people won't be able to understand or connect it to the phi ratio. So, so in speaking is the same, just
Yeah.
the spelling. The spell is in the spelling. So if you just by putting an F, you confuse F people. Okay.
What about the police giving you a fine, or when you get a fine for whatever you do that's not according to the Babylonian rules, you will get a
Okay.
fine. So
Okay. Now the fine which used to happen is when you don't follow nature's law or divine's law. Okay. There is a price to pay for that. Okay. Now they took the same system and applied to their system. Actually, there is no, their system does not warrant a fine, but they're applying the same thing what happens in the natures and divines rules and laws. It it is the real fine is actually when you don't align with the natures and divines laws. That's what the fine is. But now they applied it to the man-made system, which is not really a real system. It's made up and it can be changed anytime. That's just nonsense, misuse of the word. Let's we call it a misuse of the word. Yes.
yeah, of course. What about the word fire? I think that's what a lot of people have in their art these days or in their soul and whatever it is. But we're on fire, the people of the earth. So
Okay.
what's going on
Okay.
with that?
Now you take the phi as phi golden ratio. R is rotation, E is energy. Okay. So the rotational energy which works from the phi ratio, which uses phi ratio, which is phi recursive. Phi recursive is fire. Okay. So whatever different kinds of what people consider fire is just the fire which they see burning with the when you burn a wood piece of wood right now, that kind of fire. Now there's a fire burning inside your stomach, digesting. There's a fire which is like your Wi-Fi, which is connecting us right now. There's a there's a fire of all kinds of
Yeah.
things which eyes can't see, like different rays. Then there's an electric stove which makes a fire, which heats up things. That's also fire. So fire is electricity. There's so many different kinds of fires. Okay, but all function using fire ratio. All of them. Okay, there's no fire which doesn't use that. So that the word fire is very important. It's fire recursive, basically.
What about the word friend? Friend, it's something you have a vlog on this, of course, and
Yeah.
you talk about it in your book. But the word friend sound a lot like a free end, the end to your freedom. So maybe you
Yeah.
can extend a little bit because
Yeah.
also you take out the end and it gives you pride or something. So
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
maybe
I decided to. I chose that. It was my sense of humor, which made it. I divided the word like that. freedom I end.
Yeah.
Because what happens is that in today's idea of friendship, in the modern view of it, that is just a way for you to not face reality. For example, when you're alone, you can actually ponder on something, okay, and realize something, okay, just by being alone. Like you can realize something. It's your time and your opportunity to realize something. Now, you don't want to face the facts and reality, then you just use a distraction, and that distraction is called friend, right? Whenever people use distractions, they call them friends. Like, okay, so the real freedom, which will come from facing reality and then working according to what you're faced, finishes. So you are just left with some distractions. Okay, so so friendship has become more of a distraction in the current day. It's not like friends trying to figure things out together, or reality or facing reality. That's not what. So in current context, I wanted to show it like that. I mean, and in reality, obviously, whenever your freedom is ending to a certain extent, but uh, what you do with that freedom or not do with that freedom is also, some people can have more freedom and more time, but they will still misuse that time. It's not no guarantee that they will use that time constructively, right? There is no such guarantee. Like if somebody has extra
Right.
time, they will not use that in a like positive, constructive way. So that's the whole point. Like, distractions should be minimized, and associations and friendship, real friendship, should be made with beings who are on the same path and who are on the same page and who want the same thing, who have similar goals, and who are trying to understand the matrix and reality as it is.
Yeah, the fabric of reality. Fabric,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah,
The next word I have here is another of the many concept we have here on Earth, and it's the word freedom. Like we can attain some kind of freedom while we roam around here. So PT likes
yeah.
up with the
According to me, freedom is a real concept. Okay. So there is actually freedom from the matrix. There is freedom from everything. There is, like according to me, like it's a real. You can make it a fake concept also. Right now, people can say freedom is like doing whatever you want on earth. Okay, it's freedom. Okay, you can create different meanings of that word. For me, freedom is like freedom from cycle of birth and death and another human incarnation and things like that, which is freedom. Okay, where you don't have to do the same things and come here and face death, disease, decay, and all of these things out here on earth. That's freedom, in my view. But the word freedom again has the word phi in it. Okay, ph, and r is there in between, a rotation. So the word phi can be called phi, phi, pho, fum, fa, fi, fe, ho. Whenever you see any of these words, they mean the same thing. It's just the vowels a, e, I, o, u with the word ph. They mean the same thing, the concept. Like that's why you have these fairy tales and they say spells like fee, fi, fo, fum. When they have to do a spell in fairy tales, they use that. So, which is the same thing. So the phi is there, and r is the rotation out of the matrix, using aligning yourself with the phi ness of the nature and universe and divine, and getting out of it. And out of what? Free out of what? D, cup. We discussed the cup before. The boundary, the dome.
yeah.
What are you free of?
Yeah, the dome.
This,
That's interesting. You have the word dome in there, exactly.
yeah, yeah. That's you. That's what you're getting free from. You're getting your spirit fire recursive enough to break out of this dome and not come back. That's real freedom. Dome, like freedom.
Could the rainbow be an indicator of that presence of that dome? Because now, if we're talking about a dome over the earth, uh, I don't think anyone can see it really. So it's hard sometimes if you don't see something to believe it's there. But could the rainbow?
Yes.
Could we observe some phenomena on Earth to really really confirm
I
that
mean,
there is a dome over us,
this
like a
dome
rainbow?
is energetic. This dome is exactly energetic thing. It's not even physical.
Okay,
Not
okay.
physical as we think of physics. Matter. you know, we think of everything in terms of matter, right? Like, but it is not like that. It's energetic. It's wave, electromagnetic things like that. If you have lasers, strong lasers in front of you, you can't walk through those lasers. So
You mean even
it
if I get to that dome, I wouldn't see it because it's
Yeah,
like either
no,
in
no,
gas
no,
or
no,
something like
no,
that?
no, 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 no. Because human eye sees in a very limited frequency bandwidth.
Yes,
Let's,
yes,
let's
yes.
understand the human eye, what small bandwidth it operates in. And the dome, people can feel it not without seeing it by, seeing what happens to a human being in their life, like and what happens and stuff. And if imagine you have to take another life, and all kinds of things will happen again, and imagine another life. So you don't have to see the dome to realize what happens while you are. And everyone knows that you
Yeah.
can't just escape here or with a physical body. Everybody can see that. And those things are just realities, everyday reality for everyone. It's not hard to see that.
The next one I have here is face, because it's kind of interesting because we're all pretty much a face without a face. I think there was a song like that, Billy Idol, if I'm not wrong. Face without a face, but face in the word face, you have ace also, like
Yeah.
an
Okay.
ace. And the deck of
Face.
card is
Yeah.
the
Now
biggest card,
everyone's
no?
face is an energetic thing. Okay, like fa, fe. Fe is the same as phase. 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 So if you say
Yeah.
Phace, face is ce. C is c. I see the fa. Fa means your reflection of the fa. Means the golden ratio. Everyone's reflection of that. What a lot of reflection I can't see. Okay, whatever I can see, I will call the face. It's about seeing. See is see. Seeing, we discussed that when we discussed the letter C.
Yes.
Okay, so what are you seeing? The fa. So it's the phase of the phi ratio which you are seeing.
Is
Yeah.
that why, like, face without a face makes sense also?
Yes.
Because
Yes.
many
Yes.
people are not in that alignment with the golden ratio. Most of us.
Yeah, yeah, and obviously, and what phase of, like, every human being's phase is a different phase of that, and different energies, like a zodiac. Like 12 signs are there, and each sign has its own phase. Each degree has its own phase, and then each micro degree has its own phase. So, like, it's what energy am I seeing here? Which phase of the energy actually? So, and whatever people's actions, people's thoughts, people's way of being, people's all kinds of things are reflected where? They're reflected in the face. I mean, like
In the
like
face.
whatever people are doing, like people do a lot of things and actions in this world, and where does it reflect more and more? Whatever they do, where you can see it.
Face.
Face.
Makes sense. Next word I have here is the word family. For many, it means everything. For some, means nothing. Depends what your perspective is on family. But also, it's synonym. I think in etymology, if you go with the root of the word family, it has to do a lot with chaos or something like that. If I'm not wrong.
No, again, phase stays the same. Pha phase. Phi of phi ratio, there will be a certain phase. Which phase do you resonate with? M is matter. First is matter. When you say family, you will talk about matter only, other human beings. Okay. Now I, me, L. turn, why we had, discussed this, that thing, choice,
Yes.
this or that. So first, there is a certain phase, matter beings out here which I resonate with. If I resonate with them, what are they? They are family. Okay, on earth there are different human beings, right? And with all the human beings which are being resonates with, whosoever they might be from, they might be from different countries, they might be from different places, they might be from different, whomsoever you resonate with, that is family. That is the real definition which the I is choosing. There are different beings here with different phases, different that things, different attitudes, different thought patterns, different perspectives, different understandings, different anything which are called phases. All of that is just in science called phase. That's it. Okay. And you choose that phase. I do that turn and decision to resonate with a certain phase. Then you have that family. M is for matter. That your family will always be, it will not be some unknown thing which you can't see, which is not in matter. It'll be another material being since you are here in matter. So that's all it is. Basically.
Yeah, and that word family, the last letter is very interesting. It's a Y. We don't say family or family. Like, it's very
But see,
weird that we don't even
it's
pronounce it as
like
it is.
yes. See, the Y here in English is not so much how you pronounce it or what you say. It is just that
Yeah.
shape. It's just that shape
Okay.
which one is going into two. You're driving a car and you come across a
Yeah.
wide turn. There's a road going this way and there's a road going this way. Now,
Yeah.
what do you have to do at that time? You have to either go on this one or that one. That's all Y means when they write out there. It's a pronunciation, none of it. And once you take that turn, one of them, right? When you take that turn, you're someone who's sitting next to you in the car can ask you, why did you take that? So Y is always that only. Remember that in English. It's always that turn. What they want to stress in English, that why, by putting Y, they want to stress that you are making that choice. Okay, there's two kind of things. Family is like something you're born in, right? You're born somewhere and then you have
Yes.
relatives, parents, brothers, sisters, all of that. Now, English, they're saying that is not family. In English, by putting the Y, they're saying the beings you will choose by your consciously, by your own decision, will be family. So English is making it
Yeah.
more clear what their definition of family is, which is a good thing
And
that in that language that is like that. Like so.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And family is very close to the word famine also.
Famine means a phase, matter, I, any negation. Whenever you negate matter, you get into
Okay.
a situation where you will not have the matter called food.
Yeah. Okay. So
It's a
that's a
negation. It's a negative. It's a negation. Yeah. So that's a different thing. Yeah. Yeah.
okay. Now we're gonna go with the word flu because apparently it's back now. The flu is back. It was gone for like 2 3 years. I don't know where, but now it's back. So what about the word flu and after fluoride? Apparently they're
Okay.
poisoning us with fluoride and all
Okay.
kinds of shit. So what about the
Okay.
word flu?
Okay. So there's foo first. P5 foo. Foo is there. Okay. Now L is a turn. L is always a turn. So
Yeah.
let's say you took a turn away from phi sort of surrounding. You took a turn away. You took a turn which has put you somewhere away from that. So something has gone wrong, basically, a little bit by the
Yeah.
L. That's it. And now what that something is, no one knows. Like what that something is, like what has gone wrong. Like, but they just call it a turn away from the fire. Fee, fi, fo, fum. You take a turn. You're not so good, not so fine anymore. not, not so
Not so fine.
fine anymore. So then that's all it is. Like, and that fluoride, which this thing,
Fluoride, that's it.
flow, but it's actually flow and ride. No, ride is a ride. Like you're flowing in a ride, like you're driving in a car, you're flowing and riding, everything is going
Yeah.
smooth. It's flow,
Fluoride. Yeah.
ride.
Fluoride.
Okay, right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, the element is not a bad element. Now they made a villain out of it. It's a bad thing. Fluoride is a bad thing. It's not nothing like that. I mean, fluoride is necessary in our bones, in a lot of human body construction. That element is necessary. No element is a villain. Okay.
No, that's
you
it.
know no element is a villain. Like, they just try to make villains out of elements. Even it's not a villain.
Yeah.
And but any excess of anything is not good. Everything in balance is good. Like flow ride is also good. It's if you take a flow ride, and if you but the ride has to stop. Sometimes you do something. You can't always be on that flow ride. Okay. So point is, if you make excess of something, then it can harm you. And anything, like anything, that's just a thing. It's just an element, and it's not a. It actually smoothens your life. Yeah, like that
Yeah.
element. It's not a negative thing.
Yeah. Next word I have here is what many of us are into, this sea of fantasy. Fantasy.
Okay.
We live a life
Okay.
of a fantasy. Like everything is
Okay.
unicorn and
Okay.
rainbows, we think, like, but it's not. Like, it's a
Fantasy. Okay.
fantasy.
Okay. Okay. So fantasy is actually a good thing, in a sense. Like, there's a phase. Far is phase. You know that. PHA. We know that it's phase. We always know that it is that. Okay. And it's part of the fire ratio. Okay. And in that, you are creating a turn. NT. Okay. A turn. Okay. And ASY. Like, which is the same word as easy. EASY. Everyone wants it easy, right? Okay. So being the life of ease is a fantasy. Okay, which is nothing wrong in it. In a question of, like, you are aligned with the phase and you are having it easy, basically. So for that, you're making all the right turns, all the right T's to make that happen. And if you make a wrong turn, it won't be fantastic or fantasiacal or easy fantasy. Okay, the phase will drop, basically. You'll get into a bad phase. Like there's a proper phase conjugation, and there is a phase conjugation which creates perturbations. So it is that, like, so it is about the ease of existence. So, like in heavenly planes, there's no disease, no death. So, which is like fantasy for people who are in a physical body on earth, right? That existence or way of being is fantasy, but it is a real thing. So, so the point is, like, people can should try to make their life easy, and their beings should go for that. And for that, they should take the right turns and go along with the phi ratio, phase, divine nature, rules, laws, for that to become reality. So when fantasy can become reality. So that's
Yeah. I always told my children, if you think life is going to be easy, it's going to be hard. And if you think it's going to be hard, it might be a little easy. Yeah.
between fantasy and reality, there is a big line called work. Yeah,
Definitely, when the door of opportunity open on the other side, is going to be work. Like. But it's an
yeah,
opportunity
yeah,
to be alive. I already
yeah,
won the lotto when I was born, so I don't need
yeah.
to
But
seek lotto
yeah,
game or yeah.
yes, but work never stops. People should not work
But
is
the
the
work
most
never.
important thing.
That's why I said when the opportunity is there, get ready to
Yeah,
work. Next one is fact, because that's what
yeah,
here. But we tend to mix a lot truth with fact. Often truth is not
Okay.
necessarily fact because people say I have
Okay.
my truth, your truth, whatever. Truth
Yeah,
is
yeah,
like
that's
so.
okay.
A fact
Uh,
is a fact.
fact is a fact because it is seeing the truth. PHA, far, fair, phi ratio, C, seen, T, truth, the junction as it is. You are not saying this is not the junction. You're not saying anything. You are seeing the T, the truth as it is. And you're facing the phase as it is. Facing the phase of the phi as it is. It's like uh, there's a CT as a cut sound, like just just that, like don't nothing more, nothing less, exact. That's why the word exact also has that CT in the end. You cut like anything which is not, it is exact that, like the truth and just that and nothing more, nothing less, nothing here, nothing there, like phrase exact fact.
Exactly. Something that's very hard to achieve sometimes is forgiveness, forgiving, whatever
Yeah,
it is. But I think it's very important to forgive. First of all, forgive
yeah,
yourself if you haven't known everything from birth and stuff, because I realize myself I don't know too much today.
yeah,
So yeah,
yeah,
so I have forgive myself.
yeah. So which is a simple, like as you said, the meaning is very clear. You made out the meaning for giving. But one has to remember, for giving anything, one needs to have something. And for having something, one needs to work. Okay.
Work and learn, exactly.
So, yeah,
Yeah.
like forgive, like if person say like you're forgiven or that forgiven, but now that person needs to work on that, right? Like whatever they needed to be forgiven about, right? And a being which is forgiving also is giving something, some work which they have done. So that's why the word give is there in it, the give. And you can't give really until you work, right? Like what is there to give? Like,
Until, yeah,
I mean,
makes complete
there's,
sense. Last word today is fear. Fear, I always say it's a false evidence appearing real. Maybe you
yeah,
have something else, but fear is at
okay,
the center of most people's life on earth. And the first fear we have
yeah,
is really what other people think of us. That's the
yeah, okay.
killer in the first place. Then you have a
I mean, there can be a
whole
lot of
bunch of
fears.
other fear.
Okay,
But
okay.
fear, yeah.
Uh, I'll go into a very fun that thing about fear. It's just like a fun that thing from the, like it's phi phi 4 from many bases of phi. So phi is related to phi ratio. So not a bad thing. Not a bad thing. Okay, phi. Not a bad thing. A rotation. Okay, it's a rotation. Okay. Now the point is, fear by that definition is a good thing. Okay, because you should have fear to not align with phi nature divine. Only fear only arises when you don't align with nature and divine, which should be the case, because if that wasn't the case, then you won't feel anything when you do not align, which will take you more away and away and away and away and away from the source. Okay, so fear is a valid energy which is positive, actually, just like pain in that way. It stops you from doing wrong actions, basically, you know, in
And that's
reality.
very true
But
because
yeah,
once you're stuck in the matrix and all that stuff and all the program and the Babylon
yeah,
stuff, like, you're in fear. Since I have
yeah,
liberated myself from the TV and all that nonsense, I'm a
yeah,
lot less in fear. Like,
yes,
it's real.
yeah, yeah. I mean, but people have become so fearful because they are disconnected from nature and divine. That is the
Yeah.
root cause of fear. That root cause is the phi phi, phi phi po pum. That's the real cause. Now it will manifest in hundreds of ways afterwards, but you can cut out the ways, but finally that one fear will always remain, the central source not aligning with nature and divine. That, and it's a legitimate fear. Okay,
Yeah,
that's my
yeah.
final word on that.